A lot's happened since yesterday.
So you've managed a lot of hard rock, heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite genre? Because I kind of have this funny feeling that it's not. I kind of think.
What gives you that impression?
The last time I checked, I saw a video of you singing a Justin Timberlake song.
What?
So I'm pretty sure it's not your favorite.
Yes, I will be honest. Before Disturbed, before working for them, I was never a hard rock guy. You know, I was a big fan of the Goo Goo Dolls at the time. Like that was hard rock for me. You know, like which is crazy to think back on. But you know,
that one song was really good from the movie. Anyways.
Once I got into the industry and started learning about all these other bands, I became a fan. You know, I really liked it. It touched my soul, I guess you could say.
Grabbed you by the boo-boo?
Touched my boo-boo with consent. But yeah, I mean, I more of, well, you know, I wouldn't say it's one genre. I would say it's one person, Justin Timberlake.
Really? That's
with Justin Timberlake. I think he's such a great entertainer in all aspects. I would marry him if he wasn't already married and he was into me. I would do that. I would do that for Justin.
Got himself a man crush on Justin Timberlake. I like it.
Yeah, so you know, I have an alter ego. It's TJ Timberlake. So when I do karaoke, I do Justin Timberlake songs.
Which song's your top go-to?
Now it's Sexy Back more than anything. It used to be Cry Me a River back in the day. In fact, I think if you Google TJ Timberlake,
I'm going to. Trust me.
And
we'll probably put it on here. We'll attach it at the bottom.
I do have a funny Justin Timberlake story if we got time.
Yeah,
we got time, brother. Trust me.
So I was in LA. I'll just say I was in LA at a party, and Justin Timberlake happened to be at this party, and I was very. I had a lot to drink. And someone said, like, oh, there's Justin Timberlake. They knew I loved him. There's Justin Timberlake over there. And so it's like, oh, yeah, that's him. And I was out of a drink, and I needed another drink. And the bar was kind of his direction. So I went over towards the bar and snuck up behind Justin and decided that I was going to grind up on him for whatever reason.
Go
on. So I kind of grinded up on him. I wasn't touching him, but I was close where he must have felt it. He turned around and he looked at me with his beautiful eyes and he was like, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, and I beelined it out of there as fast as I could. I thought he was going to punch me in the face, which he didn't. He was very nice. I was very creepy. And I remember that he smelled like sugar cookies and he wasn't as tall as I thought he was going to be. It's a smell I will never forget. And it was a weird, great moment for me. It was the moment in my life at the time. But let's bring us now to 2018 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, when Justin Timberlake comes and plays at Pfizer Forum at our arena. And a lot of people in the arena knew this story and they knew how much of a crazed fan I was. So that morning, funny enough, the staff had posted pictures around the arena. Don't let this man in. And it had my face on it. They were banning me from the arena, which was an awesome joke. But about halfway through the day, his team came to us and they said, hey, when Justin gets here, he wants to go to your training center. He wants to shoot some hoops. And he wants to work on a couple routines for the iHeart radio show he was going to do. So some way, somehow, I was nominated as the person to escort Justin through this process. The other funny thing is that day I wore a shirt to work that said Team Timberlake, not knowing that I was going to hang out with Justin Timberlake that day. So I quickly ran to our store and I got a jacket and covered up my shirts because I didn't want to be that guy again. And I didn't know if he would remember me or not from our weird grinding situation. But his security team met with me, and for whatever reason, they didn't know who I was, and they gave me clearance to be with Justin Timberlake, which probably wasn't a good thing for them at the time, but little did they know. And they went through this routine of what was going to happen with me and Justin. So they're like, okay, Justin's going to get here. We're going to call you 10 minutes before he gets here. We're going to have you meet us. We're going to get into this van with Justin. We're going to drive across the street, literally like 50 feet across the street to our training center. We'll have you open the door. Justin will go in. He'll shoot some hoops and work on his dance routines. And then we'll leave and we'll come back here. Great. Right away, I'm calling my mom. I'm calling everybody. Oh my God, Mom, I'm going to be in a van with Justin Timberlake. Like, this is the greatest moment of my entire life. You have no idea. My mom's like, take pictures. And I'm like, I can't be that guy taking pictures. Like, if he asked me to take a picture with him, I will take a picture with him. But like, I can't be that creepy guy this time. I got to be professional. So about 15 minutes prior to Justin arriving, I get a call from his choreographer. And his choreographer says, hey, I need you to take me across the street first. I need to mark the floor with tape to mark out the stage so he can practice his routine. Well, I was like, well, Justin's going to be here in 5 more minutes and I need to stay. I don't know if I should go with you. And I really want to ride in this van with Justin. And the choreographer was like, no, like, come with me. So I go across the street with him and I'm trying to get this done as quickly as I can. And security texts me, okay, he's coming. I'm like, well, I'm across the street now. I'll run back. They're like, no, stay there. I'm like, in my mind, I was like, well, I really want to ride in a van with Justin. Like, I don't want to be just here. But they're like, no, stay there. We're going to bring Justin to you. So I go outside by our front door of the training facility, our back door of the training facility, and I see the arena garage door open and van pull out, and I get a text, we're on our way to you. And I'm like, oh my God, they're bringing Justin Timberlake to me right now. This is amazing. And I see the van pulling along, and of course it pulls up, and I open the gate, and it drives in, and I'm running alongside of it because I don't want to miss him get out of this freaking van. And hold the door open. He gets out of the van, hold the door open to the training facility for him. And he comes right up to me. He looks me dead in the eye, just like he did that night. And he says, hey, man, I'm Justin. And I was like, hey, I'm TJ. I was like, it's great to meet you. Thanks for letting me come over here and do this. And I'm like, it's great to meet you too. So bring him in, and he starts shooting hoops right away, and I'm rebounding for him. And man, it was like a dream, like playing basketball with Justin Timberlake. And he kept hitting shots, and I kept rebounding. He's like, man, every time you're great at passing the ball. Like, every time you pass it to me, I make a shot. And I'm like, well, I could go like wherever you need me to go. Like, if you want me to tour with you and be your rebounder, I will do that. And I told him that, and he laughed. And you know, we talked about life. We talked about my disturbed days. We talked about his family. We talked about politics. We talked about so many things. And I spent about 2.5 hours with him, really just me and him. Then eventually his dancers came in, and I watched them go through this iHeartRadio routine. It was like a private show. And at the end of it, we were leaving, and Justin comes up to me and he goes, hey, you want a flick? What? And in my mind, like, you want a flick? I was like, is Justin Timberlake asking me on a date right now? He wants to go get a movie with me? Like, what? What is happening?
Meanwhile, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, please.
I'm like, yes, a flick. Let's go watch The Notebook. He's like, no, man, like a flick, a pic. You want a picture? I'm like, yeah, I want a picture. I'm like, my mom won't believe me. And he's like, all right. So we posed and we took a selfie together. And he couldn't have been more down to earth and more kind. And, you know, you got tickets for tonight? Yeah, I got tickets. He's like, yeah, but where are your seats? And like, I was like, I got good seats. Yeah, I didn't want him to know, like, I went and bought fucking front row seats. You know, I didn't want to be that guy. But I was like, yeah, I got good seats. Don't worry about me. And, you know, he was just like, yeah, whatever you need, like, let us know and we'll take care of you. And, you know, like, he couldn't have been more gracious. Even after the show, he told us that our arena was the best sounding building on his tour. You know, he talked about how he's so focused out there, but he sees the faces of every person, every individual You know, he really is in tune to what's happening. It was an incredible experience. I never asked him if he remembered me about grinding up on me. I never showed him my shirt, though I regret not showing him my shirt because I think he probably would have loved it. But yeah, he didn't seem to remember me, which is good. And I got to have my do-over with Justin. And I think if you go on my Twitter, actually, it's the first picture on my Twitter of me and Justin from that day.
Dude.
And it was like the greatest moment.
I'm kind of pissed. I have never met Justin Timberlake.
That is so crazy, dude. That story that you just told, the only thing that was going through my mind the whole time was just like, Justin's like the Mandalorian, little baby Yoda.
He was like, a Greek god. He was Zeus. He was amazing.